The Houston Texans are coming off a year that most would say were a lot better than anybody expected coming into the season. Sure, we all kind of figured Stroud would play good, but I don't think anybody was prepared for what he was going to do during his rookie season. Stroud had arguably one of the best year one rookie seasons in the NFL, breaking numerous records and winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. He broke the record for most passing yards in a game by a rookie with 470, also being the third quarterback in NFL history to throw for at least 470 yards and 5 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. The Texans also had 3 different receivers catch at least 5 passes for at least 100 yards, making them the 4th team in the Super Bowl era to do it. The Texans have shown they have a very high firepower offense and now potentially have one of the best receiver corps in the league. Last season, the Texans also drafted wide receiver Tank Dell, who had a strong season before suffering a season-ending injury. He recorded 47 receptions for 709 yards and 7 touchdowns. Also, Nico Collins with his best year in the NFL, recording 80 receptions for 1,297 yards and 8 touchdowns. He stepped up a ton, especially when Tank was out with his injury. But what the Texans were able to do in the draft and then the offseason to prepare this team for this next season, a lot of people weren't expecting. Stephon Diggs was known to have a very bad attitude problem in Buffalo. He complained a lot about not getting the ball and such. We understand that. But he's a great receiver who still wants to compete for a shot at a championship. The Bills last season had a very slow start, and that could be a primary reason why he had such an attitude and was frustrated. Not that it makes it right, but the Bills were able to finish the season strongly, winning the division and losing in the playoffs once again to the Chiefs. The Bills got rid of some major pieces, so there was no way Diggs could continue to compete in Buffalo. This is a brand new, fresh start for him in Houston with a young, rising quarterback who's already one of the top in the league. Diggs is still an all-pro, Pro Bowl wide receiver who consistently performs as one of the best in the league. He has been consistently throughout his career, even in Minnesota. Houston believes that he's worth the second-round draft pick they had to give up for him. Adding another receiver to this offense is exactly what you want to do when you have a young, talented quarterback. He now has one of the best receiver groups in the game. Some may say since he's 30, he won't be able to perform at a high level like he used to, but good thing the Texans have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and tight end Dalton Schultz to help take the pressure off Diggs. This is a great signing because it spreads the floor for this offense so much. Houston wanted to get this deal done since they want to go all in on their Super Bowl opportunity, as they're very happy with how CJ Stroud's rookie campaign went and believe they have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. They also brought in running back Joe Mixon, who will be a very solid addition for this offense. Joe Mixon is still a good running back in this league and has put up good numbers last season. He rushed for over 1,000 yards and had 9 touchdowns, also 52 receptions. This is a great signing for them since they did need a running back, and pairing a guy who has found success with the Bengals offense, bringing him with Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, he no doubt will find success and improve. The Texans also in the draft were not going to trade or play any games, as general manager Nick Caserio had to call it. They did improve their roster with their 9 picks. They focused on defense as they did in the offseason, adding Danielle Hunter for 2 years, $49 million. Hunter already helps improve the Texans' pass rush. Last season with the Vikings, he had 16 sacks. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler and was second-team All-Pro in 2018. He now joins Will Anderson, who was the Defensive Rookie of the Year last season. The Texans had a franchise record in sacks last season with 46, so adding a talent like Daniel to a pass rush that was very successful last year is one of the best things you can do. This signing helps the defense a ton. They're giving him a lot of money for only 2 years, so they're expecting him to have just as an impact as he had in Minnesota. They also made a few other impactful signings for this team overall, signing Danico Autry for 2 years, $20 million. The Texans lost Jonathan Grenard in free agency, so adding Danico, who's coming off a career high in sacks with 11.5 with 12 tackles for loss with the Titans, is a great addition to fill in the gap that Grenard was. In the last 3 seasons, he's had 28.5 sacks, 54 quarterback hits, and 30 tackles for loss. It is a deal with $10 million guaranteed for an almost 34-year-old player, but his age hasn't caught up to him yet and doesn't seem like it will. He also goes into this defense and immediately helps improve it. The Texans made another aggressive signing with linebacker Azeez Al-Shakir to 3-year, $34 million. It's a great signing because the connection between him and DeMeco Ryans is notable. Azeez played under him when he was the linebacker coach and defensive coordinator for San Francisco. Both left in 2023 and reunited in Houston. He will be a starter as he finished last season with 163 tackles, the 5th most in the entire league. The Texans are doing everything they can to build around CJ Stroud and get to the Super Bowl. This offseason in free agency and in the draft, they made a ton of moves to help improve this team. This offense has already shown last season season they can compete at a high level, and you add one of the best receivers in the league to a wide receiver group that's young and developing into big talents in this league, it's scary. You give CJ Stroud, who had one of the best rookie seasons, who's expected to continue to improve in the league. You give him a ton of weapons. There is no doubt this offense and team overall will continue to improve in the right direction. Joe Mixon really is a slept-on addition as well for this team, as he helps the backfield a ton, especially using him as a utility back, as he does well catching and running. So giving Stroud another weapon to his arsenal like Mixon is a great addition for this team. In the draft in the second round, they selected Kamari Lassiter, who calls himself the locksmith and prides himself on having stuff on lock. That's a real quote that he actually said. The locksmith intends to go into this defense and do exactly that, lock stuff up, causing pressure to other teams' wideouts. He was a consistent playmaker and lockdown defensive back for Georgia. He started his career in the nickel, but then moved to the outside in 2022, where he found most of his success. DeMeco Ryans was already speaking highly of him, saying he provides toughness and brings a good energy. He also says he's a versatile player since he can play both inside and outside. Last season, he had his best year, recording 37 tackles and a team-high 8 pass breakups. According to Pro Football Focus, he allowed 15 receptions on 37 pass attempts for 130 yards, which is a wild stat. He earned second-team All-SEC while allowing 0 touchdowns. In 3 seasons, over 1,100 snaps in coverage, he only allowed 2 touchdowns. He was considered a top corner in this year's draft class until a 4.6 40-yard dash knocked him out of the first-round conversations. He does need to improve on turning on turnovers, as he finished his career with 1 interception on 14 pass deflections. However, this wasn't a concern for Nick Cassero. He said he's focused on drafting football players and not track athletes, as speed is important, but if you watch his game, you can see it isn't an issue for him. Pre-draft, a ton of scouts had him going to the Texans, as he is an ideal fit for Ryan's man-heavy defense. Overall, this is a great addition in the draft that comes in, as he will most likely start, and he helps improve this team as he develops himself as well. The Texans defense is surrounded with tons of talent that can be potentially one of the most aggressive defenses, as they have a very strong pass rush, which is very important, especially when it comes to wanting to compete far in the playoffs. They improved this offense as well a ton, so it'll be exciting to see Stroud progress as a quarterback and help improve this team. They have so much to prove as a team overall, with a bunch of young talent on this team. So bringing in a veteran receiver to this receiver core is one of the best decisions you can do, as he'll help improve Tank Dell. So overall, the Texans are doing everything they can to build around CJ Stroud at their shot to get a championship and compete in the NFL. Make sure if you haven't, go down below and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Texans video or any video at all. Comment down below what you think of the Texans offseason so far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.